So yesterday we were dealing with electron gain enthalpy. And electronegativity. Now today periodic trends in chemical properties. First one, periodicity in valence. Valence means it is a combining capacity. In class 9th also you learned this thing, valence, combining capacity. In the first group, last shell has got one electron. So its valency, that is combining capacity, which is also called valency, that is 1. In second group, in first group, its valency is 1. In second group, its valency is 2. In third group, you leave third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, valency, general valency 2, general valency 2. In all those cases, we know that 4s, yeah, 5s or 6s, they are having generally 2 electrons. Now in 13th group, valency is 3. In 14th group, there are 4 electrons in the outermost shell, that is valency 4. In 15th group, there are 5 electrons in the valence shell, so valency is 8 minus 5. If it is more than 4, then 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5. If it is more than 4, then 8 minus that number. Here, the number of electrons in the valence shell, that is 5. So 8 minus 5, 3. And in 16th group, the number of valence electrons, 6. So 8 minus 6, that is 2. And here the valency is 1. How? 7 electrons in the outermost shell. So 8 minus 7, that is 1. Here 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So 8 minus 8, 0. So these are the trends in the valencies. So the first group, valency 1. Second group, valency 2. 13th group, valency 3. 14th group, valency 4. 15th group, valency 3. Then 2. Then 1. Then 0. Now, elements combine to form compounds, we know. For example, if Na is making a compound with O, we write Na first, then O second. Na is electropositive and O is electronegative. The more electronegative is to be written second or the last. So Na and O, to make the sodium oxide, we write it as Na2O. This 2 is its valency. Valencies are to be crisscrossed. NaO. This valency is to be given here. Its valency is to be given here. So this is Na2O. This also we learned in class 9th. We learned crisscross the valencies. Sodium is electropositive, oxygen is electronegative. More electronegative atom is to be written last. Now, if it is NaCl, this Na and here Cl, this is more electronegative. So, this electropositive element is to be written first, followed by electronegative element. So, NaCl. Now, in this case, oxygen is more electronegative. But you consider a compound with oxygen and fluorine. Oxygen and fluorine. This is oxygen, this is fluorine. This fluorine is more electronegative. So this is to be written last, fluorine. So that is OF2. OF2. Valency of oxygen 2, valency of fluorine 1. O1 F2 means OF2. Now in this case, Fluorine is more electronegative, so that is to be written last. In this case, oxygen is more electronegative, so oxygen is to be written last. In this compared to fluorine, oxygen is electropositive. In that comparison, oxygen is less electronegative. Oxygen is less electronegative, more electronegative atom is to be written last. So in this way, you make the names of the compound and the molecular formulas of the compound. So first case, oxygen is more electronegative. In the second case, oxygen is less electronegative. Less electronegative atom is to be written first and more electronegative atom is to be written afterwards. So these are the two different cases. Now using this periodic table, you can make so many compounds. Means here are the electropositive compounds and here are the electronegative compounds. So more electropositive is to be written first. For example, potassium chloride, K and Cl. Its valency 1, its valency is also 1. So KCl, K1, Cl1 means KCl. Make a compound that is between silicon and bromide. This is silicon. Silicon. Its valency is 4. Bromine. Its valency is 1. So silicon valency is to be given to bromine. Bromine valency is to be given to silicon. So Si1Br4. So SiBr4. Make a compound with aluminium and sulfur. This is aluminium, valency 3. See 13 ka 3, 14 ka 4, 15 ka 3, 16 2, 1 0. So aluminium valency 3 and I said aluminium sulfide. Where is sulfur? This is sulfur. Sulfur valency 2. So its valency is to be written here Al2S3. 3 is the valency of aluminium. So Al2S3. In this way, you can make the molecular formulas of different compounds. Now, what will be the formula of hydrides of different elements? Hydrides. So here it is Li and H. So LiH, Li valency 1, H valency 1. So LiH, NaH, KH, RBH, CSH. What about here? B, BH3, BH3. It is though it is BH3, it is existing as a dimer B2XX. Then here ALH3, here CH4, SiH4. Here valency NH3, NH3, PH3, ASH3, SPH3 like that. Now here H2O, H2S, H2SC, here HF, HCl, HBr like that. So more electropositive atom is to be written first. More electropositive atom is to be written first. If it is oxides, how will be? These all elements with oxygen, these all elements with oxygen, Li and oxygen. Li1 oxygen, valency 2. So it is Li2O, Li2O, Na2O, K2O, Rb2O, CS2O. Then beryllium oxide, Be. Its valency 2, oxygen valency is also 2. So Be2O2 means BeO. So here it is BeO, MgO, CaO, SrO, BaO, like that. Now here, boron valency 3, oxygen valency 2. So B2O3, Al2O3, Ga2O3, In2O3. Now what about here? Carbon valency 4, oxygen valency 2. So C2O4 means CO2. You can cancel the common thing. So CO2, SiO2, GeO2 like that. Next N valency 3, O valency 2. So N2O3, P2O3, AS2O3. Now with S, sulfur trioxide, if it is sulfur trioxide, then SO3, SCO3, TeO3. Then here Cl2O7, that is the most acidic oxide. Cl2O7, OF2, OF2, then ClO2, like that. So you can make so many compounds from this periodic table. Now, that's about the periodic trends. Now, when you consider the second period element, we say this is first group, all are having same properties. Second group, all are having same chemical properties. 13th group, all are having same chemical properties. 14th group, in this family, all are showing same characteristic, same properties. Then 16th group, same properties. But when you consider this lithium, it shows alag sa properties. It shows anomalous properties. As compared to these other family members, lithium shows some ajib sa properties. Since all are making ionic compounds, lithium will make covalent compounds. Similarly, here beryllium shows alag properties. Beryllium shows special characteristics as compared to the other members of this family. Similarly, boron means second period elements show anomalous properties as compared to the other elements of their family. Here in 13th group, boron shows different types of properties as compared to the other family members. Carbon shows different types of properties as compared to the other family members. Nitrogen shows different types of properties as compared to the other members of the family. That means second period elements show special types of properties as compared to the other members of their respective families. This is due to their small size. They are of extremely small size. And their charge upon radius ratio, Li plus, and radius is bigger. See, charge upon radius ratio is very high. They have got high charge upon radius ratio. When it is charge upon radius ratio is very high, then the chance of making covalent bond is more. Covalent bond, that is, rest all are making, see, ionic bond, all are making. NaCl is ionic bond, KCl is ionic bond, RbCl is ionic bond, MgCl2 is ionic bond, CaCl2 is ionic bond. But these two, this one and this one, they form covalent bonds. This is due to their charge upon high charge upon radius ratio. When there is high charge upon radius ratio, the shared pair of electron will be remaining at the center. Otherwise, more electronegative elements should have taken that shared pair of electron. But due to their high charge upon radius ratio, the electron pair will be pulled towards the center, or that electron density between them at the center will be high. That shows covalent bonding. Covalent bonding. So LiCl or BeCl2, they are covalent compounds. So they are soluble in organic solvent, but others are soluble in inorganic solvent. NaCl is soluble in water, but LiCl is soluble in organic solvent like alcohol. This is soluble in alcohol, but NaCl is soluble in water. Both are of the same family only, but being the second period element, they show anomalous behavior as compared to the members of the corresponding family. This is the reason is that their size is small, and they have high charge upon radius ratio, and they do not have d orbitals. There is no 2d orbitals. They do not have, means absence of d orbital is the uh, another reason for their anomalous behavior. And they have only 4 valence orbitals via 2s, 2px, 2py, 2pz. They have only 4 valence orbital, means their maximum covalency, maximum covalent bonds that they can make is 4. Rest all other elements can make, they can expand their covalency beyond 4. Rest in all other periods, they can make the covalency beyond 4. But in the case of second period elements, their maximum covalency is 4. And they can form multiple bonds, means p-pi bonds with themselves or with the members of the same period. For example, C double bond C, C triple bond C means they can form P pi P pi bond with themselves, N triple bond N, O double bond O. So they can make P pi bond with themselves and also with the other members of the same period. So these are the reasons for the anomalous behavior of uh, second period elements. So what are the reasons? They have small size, they have large charge upon radius ratio, absence of d orbitals, then they have only valence orbitals, they have only four valence orbitals via 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz. Rest all other elements can exceed their covalency beyond 4 because they have more number of orbitals in the valence shell. Now the last point is that they form P pi multiple bonds with themselves, means C with C, N with N, O with O, or C with N, like that, C with O. So they can make P pi bond with themselves and also with the other elements of the same periods. So these are the reasons for the anomalous behavior of their second period elements. And the last thing, so we have seen many oxides. What are amphoteric oxide? Amphoteric oxides means with acids they can behave as base, basic thing, and with bases they can behave as acidic. Al2O3. So here the oxides are basic and here the oxides are acidic, and between oxides are amphoteric. Metallic oxides are basic, non-metallic oxides are acidic. For example, Cl2O7, it is acidic. Non-metal, Cl is a non-metal and the oxide with the O, that is Cl2O7. Non-metallic oxides are acidic, metallic oxides are basic, and in between this aluminium oxide, that is amphoteric, means Al2O3 can react with acid, Al2O3 can react with base. Al2O3 if it reacts with acid, when Al2O3 reacts with acid, you get product, salt and water. When Al2O3 react with the base, you can get salt and water. So here it is AlCl3 plus H2O, salt and water. And here NaAlO2 plus H2, sodium aluminate. So Al2O3 can react with acid, Al2O3 can react with the base, means Al2O3 can act as an amphoteric oxide. Amphoteric oxide. Write one question. Show by a chemical reaction with water. Write one question. Show by a chemical reaction with water. Show by chemical reaction with water that Na2O is basic. Na2O is basic oxide, while Cl2O7 is acidic oxide. Cl2O7 is acidic oxide. So Na2O, when we add with H2O, guess what? NaOH, that is basic. That is NaOH, NaOH. This is basic. That this, how can we make it sure that it is basic? Or how can we see that it is basic? You check with the litmus paper. Red litmus will turn to blue. The stir changes. Red litmus to blue. Red litmus to blue. Then how can you show that Cl2O7 is acidic? So Cl2O7 so with H2O, you can get 2 HClO4. This is acidic. It turns blue litmus to red. Blue litmus to red. So oxides, some oxides are as basic. What all oxides are basic? What all oxides are basic? Metallic oxides are basic. Non-metallic oxides are acidic. And in between, that is amphoteric or neutral, either amphoteric or neutral. CaL2O3 is amphoteric, but CO is neutral. CONO, these are neutral. So metallic oxides are basic, non-metallic oxides are acidic, and in between either amphoteric or neutral. Al2O3 amphoteric, CO neutral, NO neutral. So with that we end this chapter. Next chapter is chapter 4, chemical bonding. You know there are different types of bonds: ionic bond, covalent bond, then coordinate bonds. Chemical bonding means the attraction between the atoms. Bonding means attraction. There are different types of attractions. First one is ionic bonding or electrovalent bonding. Ionic bonding or electrovalent bonding. Sodium with atomic number 11, 281. Sodium does not want that one electron. Sodium does not want that one electron. Sodium will try to give away that one electron. When it gives that one electron, now 11 protons will be attracting 10 electrons. 11 positive can cancel only, sorry, 10 Negative charges can cancel only 10 positive charges. So one positive charge is extra. That means Na becomes Na plus. By losing this one electron, Na becomes Na plus. What about Cl? Electronic configuration is Cl is like this 287 according to Bohr model. It requires one electron. So that electron will be taken from the sodium. So when it takes one electron, it becomes what? Cl minus. So this positive and negative will be attracting. This electrostatic force of attraction is called ionic bonding. This electrostatic force of attraction between these positive and negative ions is called ionic bonding or electrovalence bonding. Okay. Uh, we have to learn some Lewis dot structures, how to represent an atom using only its valence electron. Here 281 means we are writing all first shell, second shell, third shell. Now onwards we'll be writing only the valence shell electrons. Means how to represent by Lewis dot structure Na. We write Na and one dot. That means last one electron in the valence shell. There is only one electron in the valence shell. All the valence shell electrons will be shown. Sodium, magnesium, we will show 2 electrons. Only the valence shell electrons are shown. This representation is called Lewis dot structures. We will be learning in the next class. Thank you.